No, I love it when you get all inspirational, the woman standing nearby said, as she had a fawning expression on her face, looking at him like he was just the only guy in the world. You are so inspiring. Thanks, babe. So, you ready to do this? You know I am, she said with a smile as she ran up behind him, wrapping her arms around his midsection, placing her head on his shoulder. You ready? Always, babe. Let's do this, he said with a smile as the woman opened her mouth to reveal very long, pointy teeth. And in the moment, my only thought was, you've got to be kidding me. She can't be. As she sunk her teeth into him, biting into his neck, as he winced a bit in the moment. What the hell is going on here? Okay, that's gonna need some explanation. No explanation needed, Hydra Shock replied, as the woman withdrew her teeth from his neck. My woman's just giving me a helping hand. When a real man faces a challenge, a real woman backs him up. And I have a real woman, buddy. I know the teeth are a bit off-putting, but no, she's not a vampire. Those aren't real, numbskull, he said, giving me the wave off. She's a symbiote user just like us. Her ability is a bit different, though. She gets all the regular advantages of being a symbiote user, of course. Strength, ability, speed, reflexes. But her symbiote is a little bit particular. It actually produces what you might call an amplification serum. She injects it through those fangs of hers. Anyone subjected to it gets immediate effects. It basically acts as a stabilizer, an enhancement compound for your neural functions. In a regular human being, for a short time, you'd feel smarter, more intuitive, get quicker reflexes, sharper instincts, maybe even a little bit of telepathic ability. But in us symbiotes, the effects are far more drastic. It massively increases our overall capabilities. The more your ability relies on telekinetic power, the more beneficial it is to you. Aside from the 10 times physical strength and speed bonuses, and perceptual edge that my symbiote gives me, I don't have any physical alterations. My body is what it is. All of my abilities reside within the manipulation of water through telepathic wavelength. So, it's 100% telekinetic. Basically, my girl just doubled my output. But don't you go worrying about her. She's not a part of this fight. It's just you and me. As I faced him down, I was suddenly overcome with a strange sensation. In the moment, it was a bit overwhelming, as I suddenly remembered the last time I had this sensation. The world starting to warp out of its normal function. Things starting to contort and bend. A feeling of dizziness. No, not right now, I said as I began to stumble about, my feet shifting through the water as I struggled to keep myself on my feet. Not now, I exclaimed as I kneeled over, clutching my head, the liquid steel around me beginning to shudder, ripples of strange movement passing through it as its motion around me began to shift, freezing, turning from solid to liquid to semi-solid and then back to solid. Ripples of force bouncing through it in different directions as its shape changed and ebbed in inconsistent ways. Damn it, I said, my vision growing blurrier by the second. Finally taking knee in the water, my hand finding the cement floor below as it rushed by me, and I struggled to keep my head above it. The entire world spinning, as I could hear echoey sounds, but couldn't make sense of any of them. Not now. I can't afford to go out right now. I have to stay conscious, focus, spinning, damn you, I said as I gripped into my helmet. It was the same as before. Nylea's hatchling was making a push, trying to take control, and it was warping my senses, making everything unstable. But somehow, I'm not sure how exactly, I managed to stay conscious as the world finally stopped spinning and my senses began to return to me. In the distance, I could hear shouting. "Take him out, damn it! What are you waiting for?" "Shut the hell up. I told you I don't fight on your terms. A man doesn't attack a man while he's down. Even if I claim victory, I'm not gonna do it by taking advantage of him in a moment of weakness. I wanna beat him when he's strong. Screw your damn honor," the force field guy shouted. "This is your chance. Follow your orders." "Screw you. I may have to deal with following that little twit Becky's orders, but I'm under no such obligation with you. I'll fight him when and if he comes to," Hydroshock exclaimed as the shield guy growled furiously in his direction. "You idiot." "Well, I hate to agree with a giant douche, but he's sorta right," I exclaimed as I stood back to my feet, finally shaking off the symptoms of the hatchling's attempt at takeover. "But that was a pretty good opportunity. I mean, seriously, you could have hit me with basically anything right there, and I wouldn't have been able to do anything," I said, looking across to him. "A real man doesn't have the need to fight underhanded. He faces his opponent straight out, not when they're weak and fragile. If he himself makes them weak and fragile, that might be a different circumstance. But a real man doesn't kick another man when he's down. He just kicks his ass once he gets up." "You are really holding fast to that honor thing, aren't you?" "I told you, I'm a man. Honor is all a man really has. And I'm not throwing it away for anything, or anybody," he exclaimed, his arms crossed as he stared at me. "So, it looks like the battle has taken its toll on you. Used up a bit too much of your power? Overtaxed yourself, maybe?" Hydroshock asked, as he gave a stern look across to me. In the moment, I could have lied to him, told him anything under the sun, made another cover excuse. But something about this guy made me want to be straight with him. "No, actually, it's because I have two symbiotes." "What?" he exclaimed, looking shocked. "Remember, I was with one of the supposed escapees, right? Well, mine had a hatchling. I'm currently holding both of them. And we're sort of having, well, you could call it the kid throwing a temper tantrum. He doesn't like hanging around his mom all day. So they're sort of vying for control, which results in some very bad side effects for me. But I can't afford to just kick the mom out on her keister. I have to find her a suitable host. I'm not the kind of cruel asshole that uses people and then disposes of them when they're no longer beneficial. She helped me a lot, so I intend to return the favor. I'm gonna find her a suitable host, somewhere she can be safe, that I know she's gonna be taken care of. Even if I have to deal with some brain-warping pain, discomfort, and disorientation, it's a small price to pay to take care of somebody who took care of you." "That's good. A real man repays his debts. A real man honors those that honor him. It's just all the more proof that you are indeed a real man, Heavy Metal Knight. But that isn't gonna affect us in this fight, right? Does it affect your abilities?" "For the most part, no. It's just the occasional head whirling, world spinning type of thing. Like waking up from the worst hangover you've ever had in your life. And it only happens every now and again, when the kid decides to act up. so you don't have to worry about it messing with our fight. It's unlikely to happen again anytime soon. At least I hope not. Glad to hear it. So, I think we've talked long enough. It's time to get down to business, Hydroshock said, as he began taking a fighting stance in the water around him, as the woman returned farther back towards the rest of the group, as a blue glow began to emit from his eyes, and the water around his feet began to spiral wildly like a tornado of water, as suddenly massive amounts of water began to lift themselves up from the floor, as water began to fill the air, hundreds upon hundreds of gallons of it, blanketing the sky, spreading out, covering more and more space, lifting from the ground in tornadoes of water that would rise up, streak into the sky and join the rest, as finally those whirls of water seemed to stabilize, maintaining the pattern of motion as they swirled about in every direction, little tornadoes connecting the floor to the new watery ceiling that he had created overhead. Now, I hope you're ready for a beatdown, man to man, Hydroshock exclaimed as he began to rush in my direction.